ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Deck Doctor. My name is Vulture, and today we're going to be taking a look at a almost rainbow mill deck. This deck comes to us from Lieutenant Hargrove. Can't words today. Of course, when can I ever words? From the Spellweaver forums, and he asked me to help him optimize this deck. Give me 1 second. There we go. Alright, I had to randomly move stuff around. He asked me to help optimize this deck against aggressive decks. Now this is kind of an interesting order that I've been... Okay, hang on 1 second. I don't know what the... Okay, here we go. Whoa, okay. Oh wait, is it just loading? Is it having some loading issues? Okay, there we go. Okay, that was weird. Now, I've had a couple of interesting kind of caveats put on this video. A, the deck has to remain over 60 cards. He made it very clear that the deck is designed to function at over 60 cards, primarily because of the amount of draw that you're going to be using and the amount of mill that's going to be happening. It's because of the mill mechanic. He wanted to make sure it stayed over 60 cards. And number two, he wanted me to help him optimize this against aggro, primarily mono corruption, mono nature, and mono rage aggro. The only thing, because he says that the deck is already as good as it's going to get against like wisdom corruption or wisdom dominion control, and as I understand it, it's actually extremely effective against those decks. But to optimize it against rush decks is going to be a bit of a challenge. I mean, aside from adding cards straight to it, I have basically, what can you do against like rage and nature rush? Well, stuff that kills small dudes. So primarily what you're looking at is you're looking at cards like Flash Freeze. You're looking at cards like where did I pass? There it is. Assassinate. You're looking at cards like Plague Vermin and Noxious Fumes. The deck already plays 4 Noxious Fumes. But primarily, if you're looking for stuff that takes out aggro decks, I mean, you're really looking at cards like Assassinate, and you're even looking at cards like Shadowstep Assassin. And I know, yes, the deck plays 3 Blood Witch Harpies, in which kind of auto kills Shadowstep Assassin. But if you play out Shadowstep Assassin to begin with, you know, you're not only are you probably trading her away, or him. I don't know. Oh wait, that's a she. If you're trading her away so that or if you play her on turn 1 or turn 2, you know, whether or not you have the spark, you're either trading her away early to stave off some aggression, or she's kind of sitting there preventing your opponent from attacking to a point where by the time you're basically stalling the board until you can play the Blood Witch Harpy, and then you're pretty well fine with sacrificing her. The one thing I did want to mention about this deck before I kind of get into the changes is that it's based specifically around a combo. Infernal Vultures coming out and decaying 4 of your opponent's cards, then sacrificing the Vulture to Stronghold Metropolis to draw a card, and then fetching out another Vulture with Dark Portal, which he and I both only have 1 Dark Portal, so unfortunately I could say play more Dark Portals, but I can't exactly put that in the deck right now. I'm kind of staving off finishing my collection of epics because of the new heroes that are coming out, and I gotta save all my shrines for new heroes, as it were. So anyway, back to the combo. So Dark Portal then fetches you another Vulture, who you use decay your opponent, use the Vulture's ability to take the Vulture, put it back in the deck, then fetch out another Vulture, and you know, it kind of just cycles like that. It also helps to play cards like Instill Life and the and Advanced Nephros's ability, the Occultism. Now, personally, I'm a little iffy on Instill Life. I like what it can do with the deck, but it's just, it seems a little, if you don't draw your Contraptionist or your Obelisk of Unity, it's just, it can just be a dead card in your hand because you're not playing any Order Shrines. You're playing Wisdom, Dominion Skill Shrines, and Corruption Shrines. Those are all you're playing. And I know that you play the Contraptionist to search out the Obelisk. It also searches out Dark Portal, but it just kind of, I hate dead cards, and I personally have a habit of not drawing Obelisks of Unity when I'm playing a multi-aspect deck. So let's see. I want to keep this. I think I want to keep this deck right around 75 cards, or maybe 72. So I think the changes I would make, and these are just my personal changes, would be, I think I'd cut one Power Engineer. Or okay. Why isn't it letting me change anything? That's okay. Hang on. Okay. Well, this is an interesting little bug. Well, now apparently that Nephros deck just turned into Modern Angels. Well, this is just bizarre. Okay. I have absolutely no idea what the hell just happened. So let me... Yeah, so, normally I would, you know, just start over, but I'm going to give my, opinion, I'm going to give my feedback on the deck, anyway. And I'm going to do two things. One, I'm going to kind of show the altered list when I do the gameplay video. I'm going to go into my collection here in a second and discuss what I was going to change. But I'm also going to leave this video up. I'm going to post this video the way it is so that I can kind of point to it and go, "Hey devs, yeah, this kind of just happened." So that's kind of what I'm going to do. But at any rate, let's go into the collection. So I was going to cut one Power Engineer and the 2 Instill Life for 3 Assassinate. And I mentioned Assassinate before, but it kills pretty much all of the elves early game. It kills pretty much anything in Rage Rush, and Corruption is just about the same. You can use it to kill off back row creatures that are giving you hassle, such as Foundry Engineers, Force Wielders. You can be used to kill. It can be used to kill Force Mage Protectors. That's the name of the card, I believe. Yeah. Which are kind of creeping up in Dominion Wisdom control. All in all, I think this is a really good card, especially since it's instant speed, which you don't get with Noxious Fumes. As much as we all wish Noxious Fumes was instant speed. Now, again, against... I can think of a lot of cards to go in here. Splitting Headache in the discard engine with Mesmerizing Spirit would be really good if you're having trouble against control. But since the question was about what to do against control or rush decks, you could even consider putting in some Force Mage Protectors. Now, let me explain what I mean by this. One of the biggest in earliest chump blockers you're going to have is the Disquisitive Spirit. Now, what do I mean by biggest? This is one of the more important ones. You play the Disquisitive Spirit because you want to, hopefully trade it into, say, a goblin or something, or an elf, and get the added I can't words today. The added value of the card draw out of it. You know what I mean? So you're trading a 1/1 into a 2/1 and getting a card and drawing a card off it. That's a really good value. Now, imagine if you could take the Disquisitive Spirit, give it a shield emblem, and then have it trade twice before you get the card. To me, that just screams value. So, the numbers will be a little off, I should think, because I'm doing this all from memory because, well, you guys saw what just happened. In the meantime, so like I said, I'll show the exact list of how I've altered it when I do the gameplay video later in the week. But I'm going to try and do my best to say, remove this card, put this card in, and the such. So, again, pretty much every control deck out there is playing this card as both anti-aggro and anti-control, because she kills straight up anything because of her deadly. So, I'm going to say probably remove, if you're not removing the Power Engineer and the 2 Instill Lives for an Assassinate, I would strongly recommend putting in Shadowstep Assassin instead. Shadowstep Assassin is just too good as both. Actually, I would straight up say don't play Assassinate because you play the Noxious Fumes. Play the Shadowstep Assassin instead. And I say that because of her application as both early game and late game removal. You could play her and she could swing into a she can swing into a Karthos or an Antriel. Well, it'd be harder to trade her into an Antriel, but it could happen. So, because of her application in those regards, personally, I would try and find room for some Djinn of Wishes. If you can get Djinn of Wishes to search at least even twice, once is good. Twice is like insane value for Djinn's power. I'm not 100% sure what you'd remove for him, but if you could find room for him, that'd be absolutely amazing. I'm trying to think here. Let's see. No. I mean, again, I'm just in love with this card. I love playing this card so much because I feel like he's just such great value, especially in a deck that is so spell and artifact heavy as this one. I play him in my Dominion Wisdom Chalice life gain deck that I love. That's just so much fun to play. And he can, even if you throw him in the way to block something and he's going to die, but or he gets attacked and you can use his ability to search and then he dies. He does die to Assassinate, but that's just kind of keeping him balanced. Other than that, I had contemplated filling the deck with more of the discard engine or the mill engine, Dreadful Nightmares and Flash of Delirium. But I understand the way the deck works with the vultures and the portal, so I'm not going to recommend that. I mean, you could play Dreadful Nightmares as part of that, as basically just a scry card. Pay 3, look at the top card of your deck, or look at the top 3 cards, put one top, put one on bottom, and put one in the graveyard. You could use that to place such thing, set up plays with Infernal Vulture from the graveyard and Instill Life. I know I told you to get rid of Instill Life, but if you want to play Dreadful Nightmares in this deck for either the scry or the mill potential, I would suggest keeping in Instill Life. Personally, and again, I'm just going to go ahead and say that the only reason I took out Instill Life was because I personally just have terrible luck with drawing Obelisk when I need it. I'm the kind of guy who would open both Instill Lives in my hand, in my opening hand, and not see an obelisk community the entire game. I know you make the argument that I also wouldn't see a contraptionist. Now I throw those back, I draw them again. I'm just an insanely unlucky person when it comes to spreading myself too thin aspect wise, unless I'm playing Reanimator. So I don't know what else much I would do or hope to change. If you're looking for something that's a little, it's really going to come down to what each person wants to do. I'd like to play Bloodwell Matriarch, but again, this deck is fine against control, and Bloodwell Matriarch is pretty much anti-control, although being able to slap her down and fling a fireball back at your opponent is pretty cool. In any respect, taking care of Rage Rush or Nature Rush, you got your Plague Vermins. You're already playing the Noxious Fumes, so the Plague Vermin, maybe find some room for the Plague Vermin. If I know Disquisitive Spirit is such an important card draw, but maybe just the Plague Vermin is just that much better because it's more targeted removal. If you're finding yourself having a lot of trouble with aggro, I would probably play Plague Vermin instead of Disquisitive Spirit. Again, if you think it would work, if you think it would help, find some room for some Force Mage Protectors. It might just help you, even if you throw the Shield Emblem on him. He's a 2/2 speed 2 who eats a Goblin or a Lizard Barbarian or pretty much a Goblin. Maybe a Brothers in Arms. He's too slow, unfortunately, for the elves, but that's where Shadowstep Assassin comes in. She's pretty much going to be trading up into an elf almost every single time. So, but also being able to throw a Force Mage Protector Shield on Shadowstep Assassin is ridiculous. If she can kill two things, then she's pretty much the most valuable card in your deck. So if I were to say what to remove for Force Mage Protector, I understand just how important Contraptionist is to fetch your kind of combo pieces, but since you're only playing the one Dark Portal, I understand that only playing one Dark Portal means that the Contraptionist becomes that much more important. But with the massive amount of card draw that's in this deck, with the Ancient Wisdoms and the Djinns, or the Library Guardians who are Djinns, and like the Disquisitive Spirit and stuff, you might not need at least 4 Contraptionists. You might be able to cut down to 2 Contraptionists and put in 2 Force Mage Protectors. So I'm sorry I didn't get to do the actual edits to the deck itself, but as you can see, I'm clicking Nephiros, I'm clicking the deck, I'm hitting edit, and it's bringing up this random it's randomly somehow converted it to my my Mono Angel anti-AI deck. And so I don't know what to tell you guys. Like I said, normally I would sit down and I'd rebuild the deck and everything, but I figure I'll just do that in the next video. I'll do that later this week when I do my gameplay video. Also, I want to make this announcement. I probably won't be doing a video this Friday. I'll probably be doing one Thursday instead. The reason I'm not doing a video this Friday, I have a good excuse. It's my fiance's birthday, so we're going to be spending the day doing stuff. So I have a good excuse this time, guys. My fiance's birthday kind of takes precedent over my video series. But probably to be doing a video on Thursday to compensate for that, or maybe Saturday. I know I rarely post on the weekends, but if I have free time on Saturday, I just might do a video on Saturday instead. So, also I wanted to keep this video up just so I can kind of point to it and go, hey devs, what? Why'd this happen? So, it might have happened because the deck was over 60 cards or whatever, but we'll see what the devs have to say. This is kind of more a bug report. I'm keeping this the way it is because I want kind of a more bug report sort of thing than anything else. So I apologize to Lieutenant Hargrove and other people who are interested and want exactly what changes I made to the deck. So basically, to summarize, cut down -2 in Still Life, -1 can Gnome Power Engineer. Put in either Assassinates or Shadow Step Assassin, although I would recommend Shadow Step Assassin greatly over Assassinate just because of her late game power. -2 Contraptionist. We'll go down to two Contraptionist. I can't exactly remember. I think the deck was playing 4, but if the deck is only playing 3, then go down to 1, or go down to 2, I mean. So -2 Contraptionist plus 2 Force Mage Protectors, but only go Force Mage Protector if you're putting in the Shadow Step Assassin. And if you're finding yourself having a hell of a hard time against Rage Rush, take out the Disquisitive Spirits, put in Plague Vermin, just because the deck has a lot of card draw outside of Disquisitive Spirit, and Plague Vermin is more targeted removal, being able to put it down and not have to worry about trading, being able to just kill off an Elf Scout or a Goblin Warrior. That's kind of the idea. So those are my changes to the deck. Like I said, I was asked to basically make it better against aggro. So, I mean, I apologize to everyone who, kind of wanted to see the end result of the deck. But I kind of want to keep this the way it is just so I can, have something to report to the devs so that this doesn't happen again in another future video. So at any rate, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, thumbs up, comment, subscribe, everything. You know how this all goes. We do this dance at the end of every video. And gameplay will come later this week. It'll either be Thursday or Saturday. Again, Friday I will be unavailable because it's my fiance's birthday. Although we might be doing something Saturday instead. So that's kind of still up in the air, but it's looking like Friday we're going to be spending all day doing stuff. She's kind of got, let's put it this way, she has one day where she's going to be spending all day with her best friend, and there's going to be one day where she's spending all day with me. Now that might be me Friday, her friend Saturday, it might be her friend Friday, it might be me Saturday. We don't exactly know. So some Thursday to Saturday, one of those 3 days there will be a video. And also there'll definitely be a video if we get the new Spotlight, or the new heroes in the balancing patch. The devs said it'll come either later this week or early next week. If it comes later this week, you can expect a video about it. You can expect me to hop right in here and give you the rundown on the new heroes and the new balancing patches, and you guys can expect that the day it hits, okay? So, at any rate, guys, that's going to do it for me for this video. I apologize for the weird bug that just happened. I've never encountered it before. And it's weird that I encountered it on camera for the first time. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's going to do it for me. And as always, may the cards rise to meet you and bring good RNG to your enemies' enemies.